Hi guys! Welcome sa Siknayan. In this video ay tutuloy natin yung ating series on trigonometry. Sabi natin, pag meron tayong ray sa initial position sa x-axis, pointing to the positive x-axis, pag nirotate natin siya ng papunta dito, magkakaroon tayo ng mga positive angles. And kung napanood niyo yung previous video natin, nirotate natin siya ng 45 degrees at kinuha natin yung coordinates ng intersection ng circle at saka ng rays. Dito, ang gagawin natin is i-rotate muna natin siya ng 30 degrees. Huwag niyo muna pansinin itong iba, kasi dinrawing ko na lang yan para mabilis kasi masyadong hahaba yung video. But we're actually rotating this ray 30 degrees counterclockwise. So, kaya meron tayong positive 30 degrees. Now, the problem is, katulad sa previous video, is to find the coordinates of the intersection of the ray and circle. Pag nakuha kasi natin to, yung coordinates nito, makukuha na natin yung mga coordinates nito, mga ibang points. Kasi reflection lang naman siya, although I think hindi pantay yung drawing ko, but reflection lang naman siya dito about the y-axis and about the x-axis. So, ang mababago lang dyan sa mga coordinates ay yung mga signs. So, pag nakuha natin to, makuha natin ang base to. Okay, so, if I drop a line segment, which is perpendicular to the x-axis, mangyayari is mag-form ako ng triangle. I form this triangle, which is a right triangle. And kung napanood yung previous video, we did the same. So, pag 30 degrees dito, ibig sabihin ito 60 degrees. Sa previous video, ang ginawa natin was 45. So, meron tayong 30, 60, 90 na triangle. And we want to find the coordinates of this point. Now, question, anong naalala nyo? Ano ang properties ng sides ng 30-60 triangle? So, pag binigyan tayo ng S dito sa pinaka-maiksing side, ang hypotenuse niyan ay twice ito. So, ibig sabihin 2S to. Ito ay property ng 30-60-90, na triangle. And this side, the longer side, which is not the hypotenuse, is S squared of 3. And how do we relate this triangle to this triangle? Alam natin na 1 yung kanyang hypotenuse because this is a unit circle. And this is the radius of a unit circle. Therefore, this is 1. So, 2S, yung kanyang hypotenuse ay 1. 2S is equal to 1, which means that S is equal to 1/2. So, alin ang S? Ito, di ba? Ibig sabihin, ang length nito ay 1/2. Kailangan natin isulat ng maliit na maliit. So, this is 1/2. Yung side na to. Next, we have, what about this one? So, kung S ito, S squared root of 3 ito, ibig sabihin ito, 1/2 square root of 3. 1/2 square root of 3. And, para ma-simplify natin, hindi tayo mag-multiply, pwede natin siyang i-over 1, remember, kung may number tayo at hindi siya fraction, pwede natin siya ilagay na over 1. At hindi natin binabago yung value because square root of 3 over 1 is still square root of 3. We can multiply 1 times square root of 3, and 2 times 1 is 2. Meaning, the length of this segment from here to here is square root of 3 over 2. Okay? Now, may relasyon ba tong dalawang to dito sa coordinates ng point na to? Yes, of course. If this is 0, this is the origin, up to here is square root of 3 over 2, meaning the x-coordinate of this point is square root of 3 over 2, which is the same as the x-coordinate of this point, diba? So, same lang sila ng x-coordinates. So, meaning the x-coordinate of this point is square root of 3 over 2. What about yung y-coordinate ng point na to? Sabi natin kanina, 1/2 to, diba? So, if this is 0 up to 1/2, meaning 1/2 ka siya dito, kanyang y-coordinate. So, this is 1/2. Okay, nakuha na natin sa first quadrant, makukuha na rin natin sa second, third, tsaka fourth quadrants. No? Second quadrant, ang x natin ay negative, ang y natin ay positive. So, negative x, negative square root of 3 over 2, tsaka 1/2. Itong point na to ayan. Tapos ito parehong negative, we have negative square root of 3 over 2, tsaka negative 1/2. And of course, another one is the pareho negative kasi nasa third quadrant tayo. Ito naman nasa fourth quadrant, positive yung x natin. Tapos yung y natin, yung katapat niya na y sa y-axis, negative. So, square root of 3 over 2 times negative 1/2. Okay? Nakuha na natin, no? So, ito ay, this is 30 degrees. In terms of radian, ano to? This is pi over 6. Maybe we'll change the color. This is pi over 6. Itong angle na to. Bakit siya naging pi over 6? 30 degrees times pi over 180. So, cancel. This is 6. Both are divisible by 30 degrees. So, pi over 6. Pi over 6 is 30, meaning yung pangalawa, 2 pi over 6. 3 pi over 6. 90, di ba? Tatlong pi over 6, tatlong 30 is 90. 4 pi over 6, this is 5 pi. 5 pi over 6. And then 6 pi over 6, which is equal to pi. And then 7 pi over 6. 8 pi over 6, 9 pi over 6, 10 pi over 6, 11 pi over 6. So this one is 11 pi over 6. Okay? So ang tanong, bakit natin nilaktawan itong pi over 6, 2 pi over 6? Bakit natin ito nilaktawan? Now, i-discuss natin yan sa susunod, no? Kasi ngayon, kinategorize ko such that yung i-discuss natin is puro 6 yung ating denominator. Kasi pag ginawa natin, naging 2 pi over 6 na tayo, magiging equal to pi over 3 na siya. So, lahat ng mga 3 naman yung denominators na radians, yan naman yung topic natin sa susunod na video. Tapos after that, i-summarize natin pati yung previous video na pi over 4. Pi over 4 and 3 pi over 4. Tapos yun nandito is 5 pi over 4. 7 pi over 4, no? Sorry. Okay, so that's it. Just a sample computation. Pwede natin sabihin, what is tangent what is tangent 5 pi over 6? So, ang tangent 5 pi over 6 ay, anong tangent? Sine over cosine theta, di ba? Sine theta over cosine theta. Dito ang sine natin, di ba, yung y, tapos yung cosine natin yung x. So, sine over cosine is 1/2 tayo tangent 5 pi over 6 is equal to 1/2 sine theta over cosine theta. Sine theta over cosine theta, which is equal to anong sine 1/2 over negative square root of 3 over 2. And this is equal to 1/2 times the reciprocal times negative 2 square root of 3. 2 over square root of 3. So this will cancel out. So ang mangyayari, this is negative 1 over square root of 3. Or, para matanggal yung ating radical sa denominator, nira-rationalize natin, di ba? So, that's negative 1 over square root of 3 times square root of 3 over square root of 3, which is equal to negative square root of 3 over 3. Okay, so ito yung tangent 5 pi over 6. No? Yan yung mga computations na dapat natin i-practice, no, sa mga susunod na mga videos. No? So, susunod, gagawin natin is yung pi over 3 naman yung denominator. Okay, so sana may natutunan kayo dito. No? Gusto ko yung invite sa zip9.com yung ating website. Nandiyan nakalista yung mga videos natin na sunod-sunod. So, kung gusto nyo sundan yung mga series, and I strongly suggest na sundan nyo siya, no? Yung simula sa simula para maintindihan nyo kung paano nagbe-build yung concept. No? Next, we have our YouTube channel. May mga playlist tayo dyan. So, explore nyo yan. We have more than 800 videos of this recording. And our Facebook page, facebook.com/tiplineph. Nandyan din, ipopost din ako dyan araw-araw. Maraming salamat. I'll see you in the next tutorial.